Hey fam, let's just get this one on and going. So today, well, we got a big week ahead of us. Let's just start there. A lot of, last week it was a lot of noise last week with 30% of the S&P 500 reporting, but we have another big week ahead of us. I'm gonna hop right into things. By watching or reading this, you're saying you understand the following. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not trading advice. This session is solely for educational purposes. There are significant financial risks associated with options trading, and I'm not liable for your wins or losses if you decide to act on this information. All right, so look, we're going to start with our options flow. Let's see what smart money was doing on Friday. Looked like a lot of call options flow was going into Tesla, Amazon, Broadcom, Apple, and Reddit. On the short side, put side, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, XBI, AMD. All right, and for the week, top call options flow went into Nvidia, Tesla, VST, Amazon, and Shopify. On the flip side, short side, we had Netflix, TSM, Microsoft, Meta, and Oracle. So President Xi and President Trump, they came up with an agreement that they only agreed on for like about a year. And NVIDIA's CEO says that that deal or that agreement that they made will definitely improve and make their business in China less competitive, more competitive. Sorry, excuse me. So that's bullish for Nvidia, and so that could be why a lot of call options flow went in there on Friday. And for the week, all right, cool. I haven't updated that slide yet for the month, but I will go to the last slide because October is over. And this was a light month for us, a light month, but I got it done. All right. So for the entire month of October, we cleared in net profits, 4,000, well, I'll just say $4,100. That is for you on the $250 membership. That's a 1,600% ROI. On the 175 membership, that's a 2,300% ROI. So we crushed it again. To me, I feel like that was a mediocre number because I know I can do a lot better than 4,100. But that's for everyone who just bought one contract per trade alert. And this includes the losses, as you can see in here, net profit. So some of you see the net profit. So you see the when you subtract the losses from the wins, that's it. And it wasn't too many trades this month. But we're gonna hit this month off from the ground running. All right, let's just hop right into things. All right, so market talk. Market talk. Okay. So on Friday, again, there was a lot of things that happened this week, well, last week. And what we did see is it was a lot of volatility, but at the end of the month, you get those monthly candle closes and you get a lot of volatility. The VIX did come down a lot lower. It closed over 17, but it's under 20. So, that's a good thing. We got VIX coming down some, and we got through October. So we're heading into another cycle. Well, not another cycle, but as we get closer through or after we get like halfway through November, then they start talking about the Santa Claus rally and stuff like that. So we'll see if we'll get one of them this year. And let's just see how things are going for right now because there's a lot and a lot of earnings to get through. That's going to kind of dictate what happens in the market. But let's see. I'm just glad that the VIX is coming down. Again, for people that don't know, the VIX is the fear gauge. So it typically goes if you see the VIX going up, then and a lot of times the market is coming down. So like the S&P 500 will be going down when the VIX is going up. And sometimes you see them going up at the same time because there's some fear going in the market and it just hasn't caught up with the market yet. So you'll see that sometimes. So good to keep an eye on the VIX to see what's going on. You can also something else to look at is to see on CNN, their website. There's something called the Fear and Greed Index. So the Fear and Greed Index, and it's on CNN .com. And right now the market is still at fear. It's not extreme fear, but it's at fear. All right. So let's see what else I got going on here because I'm not sure. All right, we'll get to charts in a second, but I'm gonna go through economic data and some earnings. All right, so Monday at noon, we got Daily speaking, and she is very volatile. I hate to call her volatile, but she creates a lot of volatility in the market. She's very opinionated, and you just want to kind of watch out for her because she'll say things that, and again, remember, we just had a Fed decision. We just had FOMC last week. So now the Fed speakers are back out because they were in a blackout period where they couldn't speak until after FOMC. So now they're out, and so yeah, they got Daly on the tape on Monday. They all it's interesting. They got Cook on the tape. Lisa Cook is on the tape at 2 p.m. Monday. Interesting. I want to hear what she has to say. All right. So yeah, let's just keep an eye on that one too. Bowman is on the tape Tuesday at 6:35 a.m. That's before the market closed, but still keep an eye on that. We got Barr on the tape Thursday at 11 a.m. Williams Thursday at 11 a.m. Damn, this is a lot of them coming out Thursday. I'm gonna check and see what's on the calendar for, or what they, if there's something else going on. Hammock on a Thursday at noon. Waller is another one you got to watch out for. Waller at 3:30. See, they plays Waller out there at 3:30. Keep an eye on Waller. Waller can move the market a lot too. Paulson, I don't really know much about this Fed speaker, but they're speaking Thursday at 4:30, 30 minutes after the close. Musalam from Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Damn, they got them lined up. Then we got Williams Friday, 3 a.m. We got Vice Chair Jefferson, 7 a.m. Friday, and then we got Mirren at Power Hour Friday afternoon. Okay, cool. For economic, that was a lot of Fed speakers. For economic data, we have ISM manufacturing PMI Monday. We got ADP non-farm payroll. So this is not the big jobs report. This is not that big jobs report, but this is just the ADP non-farm payroll. So it's just cool. So we'll get to see, you know, how the how some things are doing, some payrolls are doing, but it's not the non-farm. The big jobs report with the unemployment rate and the average hourly earnings and everything like that. So just don't get this one mixed up with that one. We got ISM Services PMI Wednesday. We have Consumer Sentiment Friday. That should be a good one. And then we got Inflation Expectations Friday. See, now just watch out for the Consumer Sentiment Friday because, again, Consumer Sentiment happens at 10 a.m. That's 30 minutes. Well, yeah, 30 minutes after the market has opened. And a lot of people get caught slipping thinking that they, everything is good. And then that consumer sentiment comes out and then it kind of changed the direction in the market. I mean, sometimes it gives a continuation, but I'm just saying you just want to just watch out for it. Keep an eye out for it. All right, so earnings we have this week. It's a lot on the tape. A lot of earnings coming out this week. I'll say to start the week off, Palantir is probably one that you want to watch out for. Palantir uh, is, Palantir. A lot of people probably know it. I'm not going to explain the company and stuff like that, but Palantir, I would definitely keep an eye out for that one. That could be a pretty big mover, possibly. So just watch out for it, and we'll see exactly what happens with that one. But yeah, I just say keep an eye on it. I think that the AI momentum on it, after what they said on the last earnings call, just keep an eye on that one. That could be a good day after earnings trade. I'm not advocating for anyone to play earnings. Earnings are risky YOLO lottos, and no matter how much you know about the how great the company is doing and about that balance sheet, their cash flow statements, anything about their guidance, it doesn't matter because what happens is it depends on how the stock looks heading into the print. And if the move is already priced in, is there going to be a surprise? That's what's going to determine if the stock is going to move or not. So just keep that in mind. I'm not advocating for anyone to play earnings. It's a YOLO. It's it's a toss up. AMD has earnings this week also. So I'm just going to go through a few of them here. So you got Shopify, you got Uber, you got Spotify. Damn, they got Spotify and Shopify report. See, this is where they play games, man. I'm not gonna go off on a tangent too much right now, but this is where they play these games, and I don't like it, man. Why would so they got Shopify and Spotify reporting the same day, the same at the same. What I'm gonna tell y'all is keep an eye on both of them the morning they report because they could be some really good trades the day after earnings. I'm well, not the day after because they report in the morning on Tuesday. So watch both of them because I'm saying that after they report, depending on what happens, and a lot of times, so just pay attention to them. I think that could be a good trade. It could possibly be a really good trade, and not for earnings per se, but I'm saying that the morning since they report in the morning, it's fresh off the press and it could just be a nice mover to you just pay attention to it and look for your setup and it could be a good one. So just keep an eye on that. Also, um shit, there's so many earnings, man. AMD reports after the close. I think AMD should probably have a strong earnings and they should have a good guidance based on everything. Um, Yeah, I said Uber already, so I think Uber could probably be another good one to keep an eye on as well. So okay, so we got Super Microcomputer. For a while, Super Microcomputer was one of those stocks that everybody was chasing because when it got added to the S&P 500, and and then all of those those reports came, those audits came out, and their accountant quit and said they the accountant was like, I can't stand behind this report, and left the company and everything right before they released earnings, and it was just a big mess, right? So, uh, yeah, so but they report on Tuesday after the close. I think they're gonna miss. I think they're gonna have probably big miss, but the setup looks great on the chart. It has a nice bullish flag on the chart. And again, they don't report until Tuesday after the close. Who knows what can happen tomorrow? They may have a nice earnings run up. You never know. But yeah, it's a nice setup on the daily, and so just keep an eye on it. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through all of these. I mean, I'm not gonna go through. I'll go through some more. We got McDonald's reporting on Wednesday morning, and so I'm not really. McDonald's is one of them stocks where I think that it moves in waves. Hold on, before I go on to that one, before I go on to there, yeah, no, I'm gonna stick there, stick where I am. So, because I was gonna go to CCJ really quickly, but I'll cover that afterwards. But yeah, so McDonald's just it's one of them stocks, man, where it moves in waves, and I think right now where McDonald's is, it's set up nicely. It's under the 200-day EMA right now, and I could, you know what, I got this earnings up, but let me just go to the chart because while I'm talking about this, I could be going looking at the chart, you know what I mean, and killing two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Just saying. MCD McDonald's. All right, you know what? I'm gonna use this chart right here. I don't have no levels on it. It looks great. And I think that'll be perfect. What y'all think? I think y'all know. All right, cool. Because I don't want this meeting to be a long meeting. And Jaden Daniels need to get like 50 more yards. But yeah, so look, so check this out. So this is the McDonald's chart right here. And they report Wednesday morning. And you see how the stock is, right? It lost the 200-day EMA. And but look at this. Look at this chart. Look at this. This is just I love beautiful charts that tell a story. So look at this. Look where price is right now. So I don't know what's gonna happen for the rest for the on Monday or Tuesday, and but right now where this stock is right now, I like it right here. I think it's setting up nicely for a move. It could bounce here. It look like they've saved it around this area several times. So we'll see what happens for earnings. If you're just looking for a regular trade for this week, I'll say if we're able to clear that 300.71, then I would look for a retest of 303.79. And Yeah, I would look for it retest the 303.79. That would be my first target on there. Over there, then my second target would be that gap fill up here at 306.40. Now, if we lose, I'm gonna say if we lose 296.61, then my first target would be down here near the 293.26, somewhere in that area. Again, I'm just add some margin on these on the levels or whatever, but that's where I don't want to put any levels on this chart, man. It's my clean chart. But yeah, so just keep it on watch, man. And they have their report also this week, but like I said, keep it on watch. Um, Robinhood been popular lately. And then, they got that deal with Keshi, the sports betting. Well, I wouldn't call it sports. Yeah, the sports betting app or whatever. They report Wednesday after the close. A lot of people been keeping their eye on Hood. So yeah, I just say that this is another one to watch out for. I think that they could possibly have a good earnings and a beat and a raise. This stock could probably run again. Now the thing is, look how much it's run since its last print. It's been moving. It's up like damn. It's up 50% since its last print. That's a lot. And again, I'm not saying that they can't that it's not worth it. That is probably not worth more. It could be. But what I'm saying is they just have to, that stock they need to come through with it. You know what I'm saying? So if they could come through with it, then we can get a big move on this one, possibly. Again, it's hard to tell. Like I said, that's a long way away for right now. And it's already at all-time highs. I'm not saying that that means a thing. It doesn't mean a thing, but I'm saying they have to really bring it and the guidance have to be good or this stock is going to come down. But yeah, but I just keep it on watch. Do I really want to cover this one? Do I really want to cover it? Do I really want to cover? I'm gonna say this. So App Lovin, they report this week too, right? And this is what I'm gonna say. App Lovin hasn't had one of those type of prints where it was worth trading in a while. It's very hard to trade a stock like this where they're pricing in such a huge move because if it doesn't move, the move that you're looking for, your options are gonna be they're gonna disintegrate. And this is a very expensive stock. So I'm just saying that it's if you wait until the day after, if the stock is if they have a bullish move or a bullish print, it's going to give you a nice move the day after. And you probably can make more money than you make if you traded it for earnings. You know what I'm saying? It's as far as risk to reward ratio. And because you're going to have to put a lot of money up to play this and to play it the right way. And the morning after, you can make a lot of money paying this for cheaper, especially if they clap the hell out of the options because they pricing in $100 move on the stock. You get what I'm saying? So when they're pricing in a move like that and the stock doesn't move, they're the options will be on sale and you could play the hell out of this. I'm gonna say right now, even trying to play this throughout the week as an earnings run up is terrible idea because the IV and the Vega exposure is so high on this. So I'm not even going to give a setup on this at all because if this, let's say you decide to play it on Monday because it breaks out, right? So because it took out the 652.87 or something like that, hit 653. And you said, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna play this up to 700 or something, or to 680, my bad. And what happens is if it doesn't move as fast as the IV is predicting, the Vega is gonna be sucked out of the stock, out of the contracts, and the IV is going to go lower, and that's going to be a big part of your contract premium. So even if it's moving up, if it's not moving up at that rate of change, I mean the speed of change, so that's the gamma. If that speed of change is not moving, you know what I mean, it's not going as fast. That IV and Vega exposure is coming down, and the contracts are going to get clapped. So just don't even. I'll say wait until the day after earnings to trade it when they rip the IV out of the contracts because it's too over. It's inflated right now, and it's definitely not worth it. Just trading it as a run up or something like that. So Yeah, keep that on watch though. ARM is another stock, ARM, another semiconductor stock. And I think this one is cool. I think this one is cool. It's not, look where it has been. This is what I like about stuff like this. So like, the all-time highs here at 188, 65, 675, it's down like a good $22 below then, low there. I like a nice pullback ahead of a print. I don't know what this stock is going to do, but it's holding up pretty well. And I think it could be a good stock to a good run up trade maybe, or another stock to watch for the day after earnings. But the thing is, I mean, I just like it. I like the way I like the setup on it, and I like how the price nice 222 reversal reclaimed the non EMA. And it's just set up really nicely. I like how it's been playing around in this range. Nice consolidation here. Coiling ahead of its print. So this is another one I would keep on watch. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna really hold y'all up too much here because I couldn't get my recording the way I wanted it today. So I just want to make sure I got on here, but I couldn't go anywhere without covering Meta. And so yeah, Meta finished with a bearish engulfing here. It came up and hit the 200-day EMA, rejected it, gapped down. Sorry, rejected it, um, gapped up, came back down, finished with a bearish engulfing. Now, the thing is, I feel like they overreacted from the Meta print. They overreacted. Meta is spending more money. They already said they were going to spend more money. We knew they were going to spend more money, but every time Mark Zuckerberg spends more money, the company makes more money. So as a result of them spending more money, Instagram Reels are doing a lot better than they thought they would be doing right now. They're investing a lot of money in AI. They're spending a lot of money in and trying to get they spend a lot of money in trying to build that whole the AI and Llama. Shit, 1 second. I think Meta's been doing a good job at it, but I just feel like right now the stock is, I think it's had enough. I think, look at this stock, man. I think it's time to start buying Meta, but we have to see. This is the thing. I can say whatever I want to say, but we're going to have to see what the price action does. I think they overreacted, and I think it's over now. Now it's time for us to start buying Meta again. This is how the monthly closed. This is the monthly chart. Now, can't you see it a lot clearer now? Does that make sense to you? Don't it look like it's time to buy Meta? Maybe it has room down to 640, but we gonna have to see. I think it's time to start buying Meta, but only the price action knows. So that's what we're gonna see, and the price action will let us know. Yeah, but I just feel like there with everything going on right now, I think that we need to stick to the stocks that we know. Everybody's pressed about earnings. And again, earnings are fine. There are some great stocks reporting this week. But I do think that we should just be careful. And I got to show y'all another chart. I got to show y'all this other chart. Um, Shout out to Drew. Here is Airbnb, man. This is the Airbnb monthly chart. Look at this chart. Tell me this isn't a beautiful chart. Tell me you haven't seen a more beautiful. I've seen a more beautiful chart, but I'm just saying that look at this monthly chart. I love it. Nice, beautiful monthly chart. Hey, what's up, Airbnb? What you talking about right now? That's a nice 213 reversal on the monthly. That's how we finished on a month. Okay. Here's the weekly right here. Now let's go back down to the daily. Nice little coiling action going on under here, under the 200-day EMA, but holding over the 50. I like it. I like it. Airbnb looks good. Airbnb is another stock that reports. I don't trust it though. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on. Airbnb could have a surprise though, but I think the chart looks great, but they could. It's just I've been looking at the numbers on Airbnb and I don't know. They may, if they cut guidance, we'll just have to see. We will just have to see. Now, a surprise beat is always a good thing, but we will have to just see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, Airbnb, keep this one on watch as well. And like I said, I just hope that everyone's ready for this week. I think it's going to be a great week. And, just trade responsibly, stay within your lane, trade what you know, and that's all I have. If y'all have any questions, drop them in the comments. Cheers.